Okay, so welcome to moleysBitz channel. So here's a walkthrough of the CentOS8 installation and the guest editions. So we're going to start off just in VirtualBox, and I'm just going to take you through a very quick walkthrough of how you actually create the guest OS. So we're just going to set that up very quickly, and then I'll take you through the installation of CentOS8, and then we'll give the guest editions a go. So let's start off with creating a new virtual machine. So this product here, I might cover it in a different video, but you'll find various videos on YouTube about VirtualBox. So we're just going to set this. We're going to set the CentOS8 image up. So what we'll do is I've already got some created here. So I'm just going to create a test project just so that you can see what we did. You click new, and then you type in the name of your image that you want to call it, your virtual machine. So we're going to call it CentOS test, and then you can actually store it wherever you want. This is already pre-selected for me, so I want to make sure that it's on Red Hat 64-bit. There isn't actually a CentOS here because the binaries for Red Hat is compatible with CentOS8. So then just click next, and here we can actually specify the memory that you want for this VM. So we're gonna say 4096, so that's 4 gig for us. Click next. You can always adjust these later on as well. So hard disk space, we're gonna create a virtual hard disk now. We're not going to use anything existing, and we're not obviously going to pick the first option. So let's do create. We'll select the first one, which is the VDI, which is the VirtualBox image. Click next, and we'll have it as dynamically allocated, so not a fixed size, so that it grows if it gets bigger. Now here we have the option to set the size, so I'm just going to set it to 20 gigabytes at the moment. Click create. Okay, so there you have it. So that's pretty much your virtual machine. Now, if you wanted to, when we launch the CentOS8 software, if I click start here, that's now going to launch my virtual machine, and here I can actually find the ISO that I want. So we are looking for this one here, because that's the latest one that I downloaded. So if I choose this one and then click start, this will now launch the CentOS8 installation, as you can see. So if I flick down, I can use a keyboard now. I want to be at the top one, which is the install CentOS8. I'm not going to bother with testing this media and install CentOS8. I'm just going to go straight for the install. So hit enter, and that will then start the installation up. Now I'm just going to close this at the top right hand corner. I'll close it again. So now we just wait for the next screen to come up. I don't think I'm going to have any problems here, because this is pretty much how you normally start off when you install the operating system. On this screen, we're going to continue with the installation. So we're going to pick the English United Kingdom. So let's just pick that. Click continue. And then it will resolve itself here on some of these items. Software selection, we're going to stick with server with GUI. I'm not going to bother with any of this information or any of these at the moment. So we click done. Here we need to resolve the hard disk space that we had allocated. So this is the 20 gig. It's already got a tick on there, so I think we should be good to go. And just click done, and that's resolved itself. Now we'll just begin the installation. So while that's doing the installation, we can set the root password here. So let's just give it any name. So I'll just do welcome123. And then click click done. Click done again. Now it's preparing the installation for us. We'll just hang on and wait until this completes. But we're not going to, hang on the screen right now. So what I'll do is I'll just pause it, and then we'll come back to the installation. Alright, so we're back. As you can see. Right, so we're at the final screen where we're going to reboot. And now there's one thing that we're going to have to be careful of. Let's just click the reboot, see what happens. Right, so it wants us to install it again. And that's not what we really want. Let's reset this. And hopefully this time it will come up with the screen where it's not going to ask us to do the installation. Alright, so now it's booting up into the CentOS GUI. Okay, so ask him to accept the license. Tick the box here, click done. And we're pretty much there now. So let's click next. We won't bother with this. Turn this off. Skip this. And we'll just put in my name at the moment. Click next. Set a password. Click next. And we're pretty much there. Okay, so now I'm just logging in. And there you have it. So the menu's changed, and yeah, it looks quite different. Here's a terminal, but what we'll do now is we'll probably install the guest editions. It's not going to let us install it from the menu here. If we go to devices, and then insert the guest editions. At the moment, it can't get out to the network from what I understand, so we are probably going to have to go into the terminal and log in as root and change the network so that it boots with the network. Okay, so if we put root here, we click next and put in our password. So it will ask you to do that for every new user. Now if we bring the terminal up, so we want to change the network configuration. So if I just bring my notepad document up here, so you can actually see there. So let's go into the network scripts. So cd etc. and then sysconfig network-scripts, do an ls. So there's only one file I've got here. So if I do a vi on this one, which means we're going to edit this file, what we're going to do is we want to change this on boot. device to yes. So we type yes, escape, colon, right, or W, Q, and then exclamation mark. So that's right, and then Q for quit. Oops, it didn't work. There you go. If I do more on this, you can see that the on boot has changed to yes. So if we just do a reboot, and that will bring it back to our OS again. Now while that's happening, the point of this guest editions is that you can, one of the features is that you can resize your desktop environment, and at the moment it's grayed out, as you can see. So what we'll do is we'll go in as root, and we'll bring up the terminal. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to update the kernel. So we're going to follow these commands on the right hand side. So we type dnf, update, kernel, and then a star. Now if I didn't enable the network to go out onto the internet, then these packages would not have installed, or none of these updates would have worked. So we'll just install these. Okay, so that's complete. So what we'll do is we'll do a reboot again. Let's go back in as root, and if we do activities, we go to the terminal again. Just before we do that, if you look at here, you can still see that it's all grayed out still. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to install the packages. So we get the terminal up, and we're going to follow the commands on the right hand side. So dnf install gcc make bzzip to kernel devel and elf utils -lib elf-devel. Say yes to that. We could probably put a -y just after DNF so that we're not prompted. I'd need to check on that, but that's what I think. Okay, so let's try and install the guest editions from here. Okay, we'll press return. We'll try a reboot and just see what happens. Right, so let's go in as root. And we'll bring up the terminal. Before we do that, let's have a look here. Okay, so that's done. But if it hadn't done this, I could have typed mount /dev /cd-rom /mount. Okay, so now it's working, you see. So if we do cd/mnt, now you don't need to do this now because it's already installed the guest editions, but I just wanted to show you. If you type ls, you can see the file that we're looking for is this one here, that one there. Now if you do a ./vbox Linux and then hit enter, that would have then installed your guest editions. So if you couldn't do it through the menu, then this is the other way you can do it. Okay, so now what we'll do is we'll just resize the window and see how it works. So if we do view, go here, we're going to size it to 1920 by 1080 because that's the size of my desktop right now. So if we click that, you can see it's actually resized it. And everything looks quite okay. So if I bring this and scroll to the right, that looks okay. So let's just close that window and click the terminal again. So there you go. So now I have like a bigger screen now. Just to recap, we installed the VirtualBox 616 software, and we installed the extension packs, so they got updated. And the way to do that would be you would just basically close this. But if you go to File, check for updates, you can see that there might be a new version. And if you do want to install it, then just close this VirtualBox, install extensions, and then you'll be back to this. Well, once you launch a VirtualBox, you'll be back here. We've got the 616 version that's been updated. Now the only thing that we haven't updated here is the guest editions. So what I'm going to quickly show you is the VirtualBox I've got running. I've got two running here, but let's just focus on the on my clone one at the moment. So once you log in, if you go to cd opt /opt and do an ls, you'll actually see the guest editions that you had previously installed, which is the 6.1.4 version in this case. Now, because I have downloaded the guest editions for 6.1.6, you can actually go to devices and go to optical drives and just make sure that you've got the 616 selected. Now, I don't have it here at the moment because I've deleted it. Now, the reason why I have deleted it is because when I did try to update to 6.1.6, it didn't do anything. There seems to be a bug in that version, so I had to roll back to the 6.1.4. So this would be previous to when you would install the 6.1.6. Now, when you go into this directory, what you're meant to do is you're meant to uninstall the guest editions first. So if I go into here, into this actual folder, you can see there's an uninstall script. So you can just do /uninstall and then hit enter, and that would uninstall the guest editions. And then you can just mount your drive again using these commands here. Point that to your whichever guest editions that you want to install, and then go ahead and install and just reboot the machine. Once that's done, then you should get everything back in your menu here. So you should be able to resize, but if you don't, you might have to roll back the guest editions. So that's pretty much it for this whole complete video. Just to recap, we installed the CentOS8 version, and then we wanted to go through and deploy or install the guest editions. So thank you for watching this video on moleysBitz channel. Please like and subscribe, and let me know what you think in the comments section. Until the next video, later.